Okay. And that's the thing up there, huh? Are we live?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, how the hell are you? Jeff Kiesel Guitars. Sorry we're late. I didn't understand that the guys told everybody we were going to do like a screen capture presentation of the new virtual bass builder. So when I sat down, I was like, oh, we don't need to do that. But I didn't realize we posted and told you guys we were going to do that. So then there was a mad scramble to get the computer all set up. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there. It's like four other people in this room, but you'd swear there's like 30. Shit's like falling over in here. Can you guys raise the camera up just a little bit? Because it's like grabbing the Sony camera. Can you guys raise it up just a little bit? Because it's grabbing like kind of the bottom of the table. Maybe not. That's a little better. Anyway, so we have the virtual bass builder. That's pretty badass. Told you guys Q1, and nothing like wait until the last possible second. These guys were even like, hey, should we troll everybody and wait till April 1st and then like fake launch it and then really launch it the next day? I was like, no, the bass players have been waiting long enough, so we're not trolling you guys, obviously. But before I get into the bass builder, we do have a brand new bass model. I'm going to show it off here. So the idea is, I don't want to whack other basses. The idea with this bass is it's going to be our modern J bass. And why I say modern is no pick guard. Oh, I got to hold it up. No pick guard and no metal control plate. So you can see the curved knobs. You still have your master volume, your pickup blend, stacked bass and treble, stacked mid-range control. In standard by default, you know, we're going to be putting a Radius. I think it's Radius, or maybe it is just the singles, actually. I think it is just a pair of JVAs. But the really cool thing about this bass and most of the other basses is we're going to allow you guys to get all the pickup configurations we've been offering, but haven't really been offering, if you know what I mean. For those of you guys that have placed orders, you know that you have been able to get some different configurations, but by calling in and paying a lot extra, and we're not going to be doing that to you guys anymore. So it still features the sloped back of the neck heel, obviously rear mounted controls, so that's really cool. This one has dual Radius single coils. You can see the one to my left has that, you know, humbucker in the sweet spot, so you can go with that. Let's show off a couple more. They're going to come with the GT headstock. These stands are super sketch, so I hope we don't lose one today. And this is kind of the default right here, is going to be the singles. You can see that beautiful bevel, which I think complements this modern J. Very nice. It's also going to have a little bit of weight relief, you know, getting into that bevel area, but super comfortable no matter what playing positions. That's the whole idea with this new bass. And it is an identical copy of our JB5. So it's not a brand new ground up shape. But, you know, the bevel's obviously unique. It does get the hip shot bridge instead of the Kiesel bridge. So it's got the hip shot bridge on it. You can see this 4-string here with the split coil and the single coil in the bridge. I'm going to cheat and kind of put it on the chair here. Also, too, if you guys haven't noticed, these are our new inlays, the ring inlays. And that is something you can get on guitars and basses. You can either get them centered or you can get them staggered and offset. So pretty cool. I love the ring inlays. You get a little closer on those so you guys can kind of see. And those are available in our acrylic colors as well as abalone. No mother of pearl option, but very cool nonetheless. And let me show off this one here. We have a few more of these finishing up that we'll be showing off in the next, you know, couple weeks. Another really popular pickup configuration back in the day was our, you know, fat humbucker in the bridge and the single coil in the neck. So again, just giving you guys versatility. And then we have waived a lot of the upcharges on pickup changes just to launch the new bass builder to kind of help you guys out. So maybe this bass isn't your cup of tea. You're not like, you know, you're not looking for one of these. Maybe you're looking for a Vader headless or whatever. But those also have, you know, a lot of different pickup configuration possibilities too. So really just trying to help you guys out and listen to the players and just offer more variety for you guys. So on that note, maybe it's time for me to start messing with this builder here. I can build up a couple models. Zach, what the hell do I click? Capture?
No. Don't click it.
Don't click anything. Don't touch it, Dad. You're gonna break. Okay, and then Instagram, you're gonna be along for the ride. That light's gonna be really brutal. Let me put it on the other side.
There we go.
That way we get a little less light. So here we are. And of course I have no freaking mouse. This sucks. I hate this style. So first things up, you pick your model, right? So I'm gonna go standard model for now. Obviously we got that modern J. Yes, we know the base is a little bit out of frame. We didn't realize that until we launched it on this particular computer. Let's actually build that this model here, and we'll go ahead and do a 5-string. So it's a $70 upcharge for a 5-string base over a 4-string. So we'll do that. Of course, you can do multi-scale, and it's just letting you know that some of the options may change because they're not available on a multi-scale. See if I can pan down. There we go. It's a little better. So let's get rid of the multi-scale for now. Go back to a standard. And scale length is 34-inch, not optional. Body options. Let's go into wood. My jam for a base is typically going to be swamp ash or a one-piece swamp ash. In this case, it's bolt-on. I like the antique ash treatment, so I'm going to go ahead and click that to add it. If you don't know what antique ash is, you click the more info, it's going to tell you all about it. So boom, you see how badass that looks. Let's throw a top on there. I like having tops on my bases. Oh no, it's not that one, it's this. All right, I'd probably do a Buckeye burl. It's probably what I would do, but to show something with a little more variety, because obviously I can show you a lot more color options. I'm gonna go with quilt. So chambering, I love chambering anything, especially even a base, because it's gonna drop the weight down. I like the 3-piece layer. If you wanna know what that is, you just click that, and it's basically just a line that goes in between the top and the body. I'm gonna go ahead and click that just to add it. So you see this beautiful line going right down here in between the body and the top. Let's get into some custom finishes here. And translucent colors. Purple is super dark for me. That's way too dark. Whoa, this thing's freaking out. Little classic. Look at that. It's badass looking. One of my jams is this right here, the translucent white. Look how good that looks. Like, what a killer right there. Aquaburst, always something that, you just can't go wrong with Aquaburst. Logos. My jam's usually the Drop Shadow Silver. About 90% of the builds I put through have that. Rear natural clear, so you can have that painted if you want, or natural clear. I think the natural clear is really cool because it kind of highlights the fact that there is a bevel there. Of course, you can also show the rear of this thing, so you could see that just with the natural clear. And then if you wanted to know what it looked like, Aquaburst, there you go. So it's kind of a good indicator if you want the back to have a little more going on. This thing is really sensitive. All right, neck options. Neck wood. Let's go with a 3-piece neck. This is probably what I would order on this base right here. Number of frets, 22 is what we're offering on this. We do have the Vanquish, the Icon, the Bromberg, the Vader base, Osiris and Zeus that have 24 frets. See what Pale Moon looks like. It looks pretty hot. See what the Roasted Maple looks like on there. That's a good look too. I'm just liking that Royal Ebony myself. And let's go, let's check out these new ring inlays. And these are available also on the guitars. So you can go rings right down the middle, which is very traditional, or you can stagger offset the rings, which I prefer myself. And let's go into Inlay Material. We don't offer those in mother of pearl or luminlay. Let's throw some abalone in there. I think that's pretty classy. If you want it to stand out or pop more, of course, you can go white acrylic. I'm going to throw abalone in there. Fretboard radius, it's not something you can select. It's 14 is the standard. Frets, a lot of guys lately have been going with jumbo frets on bases, the stainless jumbos. You can even do a fretless fingerboard. It does make the instrument non-returnable because we don't sell that many fretlesses and I don't want to get stuck with it. When you do fretless though, there is a option that is called hard as nails finish. And basically what we do is we put a special coating over the top side of the fingerboard. So right on the fingerboard itself, so that you can actually use round wounds. I'm gonna go back to frets here, and we're gonna go stainless jumbo, get rid of the fretless, and my inlays disappeared. So we got a little bit of a bug there. And that's probably because we don't do rings. Maybe it's not a bug. We don't do rings on fretless. So that's something you have to be mindful of if you're playing around with this, that it doesn't, you know, get rid of one of your options you really want to have. Rear neck finish is going to be tongue oil. That's standard. And the only option on a bolt-on. Headstock shape. Let's put this back to the front. GT. There's the classic, reverse classic, reverse GT. I prefer the regular GT myself. Headstock overlay, you know, just like with the guitars, you could go Royal Ebony, or you can put it right back to, you know, the quilted maple. So you can either match the top or the fingerboard. So a lot of this was plug and play, but there was a lot of work going on here. So pickup model. So first it's going to ask you to select the bridge pickup. Let's go over here to get all the options here. So if you pick, let's say like H50s, it's going to do a pair of H50s. Now H50s and JVAs look exactly the same. An H50 is a stacked humbucker and a JVA is a very high output single coil. If you go with the radium humbucker, it's going to automatically pair you with a radium neck pickup. If you go with the radium single coil, you have an option when you go back to neck of either a radium single, or you can do a split coil with that, you know, giving that like PJ type of sound. So if I go back to this guy and then go back to the bridge, something cool is we're allowing the HB just in the sweet spot with 3 controls. So obviously we don't need a pickup pan at that point. Or you can do the HB with the single coil in the neck, giving you, you know, a really fat, high output bridge pickup and obviously a single coil in the neck. For me, if I was ordering something, what I would be getting would be the Radius single with the split coil, because I love the way that split coil sounds. It's so thunderous. It's got so much output. It's got so much control on that pickup. And you're going to have, in my opinion, the most versatility with the split coil neck and the Radius single coil. Keep in mind our Radius single coil bridge and the JVA single coil are the same exact pickup. The only difference is there's actually a radius on the cover, and the actual pickup itself is radiused so that the strings are the same exact spacing from the bridge pickup, giving you the same volume over each string, which typically if you have a flat pickup and you have a radiused fingerboard, right, like a 14, your center strings are going to be further away from the pickup. And so you have to work harder as a bass player to have the same amount of output. So that's not the case with the Radius. So if you've ever wondered why you'd want a Radius, that's why. This guy here really probably shouldn't be an option, so we'll have to modify that. That 60s style jazz is going to be just for the single coils. So I'll have to tell our web designer that needs to be pulled out. So what that does, if you watch the bridge pickup, see how it moves it up just a little bit? So you guys hear about, like, you know, a Fender 60s or a Fender 70s. The 70s is more modern, and it moves the pickup closer to the bridge to give you more of that like bark and bite. And the 60s moves it further away to give you more of that low growl. Hardware options, the bridge is a hip shot, so it's not selectable. Hardware color, I would probably rock black on this one personally. I think that looks best. Knobs, probably throw abalone knobs on there, and it's just the top 2 that are going to change because those are the full size knobs. These little guys are stack knobs, and we don't actually have them with the abalone tops. Black nut tuners, you can add a detuner, and let's see if when I flip it around if you guys can see that better. So it adds this little lever here, and if you flip that, it's adjustable, so you can do whatever drop you want. Maybe it's a half or a full step on your low string. So watch, if I take away that detuner, boom, there it is. I add the detuner, you can see it there. It's a pretty cool thing, and for $60, I definitely recommend it because it gives you more versatility in your instrument. Strap buttons, strap locks, always a nice thing. Cavity covers, of course, try to get rid of the plastic on the instrument. But there is the modern J-Bass, and let's see what happens when we take this model to, let's say, a regular J-Bass. So there you have it. So you see that, which is very sexy looking. And there it is without the pick guard. Obviously, if you're getting a quilted maple top, things like that, it's showing it off a lot better without having a pick guard on there in the way. Let's see what a PB looks like. Vader bass, see if we break this thing going to a headless. That looks really cool. We lost the swamp ash because it was a one-piece swamp ash, and that's a neck through, so we can't carry that over. So that makes sense. Let's see what an icon looks like. Damn, that looks so sexy. Wow, really liking that. Vanquish, also sexy. Osiris, Zeus, and last the Thanos. So there it is. Why don't we go ahead and get back off of this, and we'll go ahead and do your questions now. Yeah. There's Jesse. There's Jesse. All right. Capture. Okay, so we're back on the normal. So what can I answer for you bass players or guitar players? And let me show off, because you guitar players are like, I want to see the ring inlays on a guitar. Well, check it out. Here's an Aries right here with those beautiful ring inlays. Let Zach zoom in on that.
Maybe try moving it down.
There we go. Check out those ring inlays. So those are available on guitars and basses now. That's our brand new inlay, the ring inlay. And so what do you guys want to know? What can I answer for you?
Aaron's asking, does the Thanos bass offer body chambering?
The Thanos does not, no.
How many weeks would it take to get a custom Vader bass built?
Right now we're quoting 18 to 22 weeks.
Any multi-scale basses?
Yes, but I don't have any right here. We do have some of the new ones finishing up, but there's none that are finished as of the moment.
This is just a comment. Thaddeus is saying, I love that you guys show love to bass players. So many companies view them as an afterthought, and it's refreshing to see. Also, sick bass.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, dude.
What bass models are available as a multi-scale?
That would be the Vader, the Thanos, the Zeus, this brand new MJ, the JB, the Vanquish, and I think that's it.
Would orange and purple monster burst look cool?
I don't know what an orange and purple monster burst is because that's not a thing, but I could do a custom finish for you if you'd like. If you'd rather have orange where the blue goes, I could do that for you. It wouldn't be monster burst because monster burst is after Sully from Monsters Inc. and Sully's not orange, so it wouldn't be monster burst, but I could definitely do something sick for you, and I do think it would look good. Keep in mind that when the orange and purple cross over, you're going to get almost like a dark purple brownish color. So if you're cool with that, I can definitely make it happen for you.
Abdel is asking, hey Jeff, can you please explain the difference between mahogany and Filipino mahogany?
So the Philippine mahogany isn't really even mahogany at all. It's just a wood that grows in the Philippines that looks like mahogany, and so they call it Philippine mahogany, but it's actually not mahogany. So there's a lot of misconception about that, and so companies want to sell you something that looks, it's a copycat, right? And it's a price point. You know, it's kind of like basswood bodies. Your import guitar companies that are overseas where basswood is prevalent, they're the ones that offer them. Most of your high-end American builders won't touch it. They use southern swamp ash because it's grown here in America, and the basswood is a copycat of it's a wannabe swamp ash. It's poor man's swamp ash. So it's kind of like the same thing with the Philippine mahogany. It's not the Honduran mahogany, obviously.
How much longer is the wait time for a build with an Arctic finish?
Typically, that's going to add 2 to 4 weeks for the builds.
What kind of matte finish burst is on that base you held up?
Probably this one, I'm guessing, maybe. This is going to be a Aqua Cali Burst. I had to look at it. It's hard to see on the screen, the little screen.
Edward is asking, hey Jeff, playing around with the new builder. Couple questions. After I make my build and I try to zoom in, everything gets erased and goes back to the original.
Oof.
Also, I want to order, but can I get matching pickup covers on a Zeus? Thanks for these weekly Q&As.
You're very welcome. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at the zoom factor. I mean, obviously this is, you know, we figure out all the bugs when you guys are telling us about them. You know, it's hard to replicate every single possible combination, but we've had, you know, tens of thousands of people hitting the new base builder today just in this short period of time. So I'm sure we're going to have stuff flooding in. That's why we're calling it a beta. As far as covers, we don't do covers like wooden covers on bass pickups.
John is asking, what's the best way to clean a roasted bird's eye maple fingerboard?
You could check out our fretboard care video on our YouTube channel, and she used the same exact method for roasted woods.
How customizable are your guitars?
Very customizable. I mean, things that would be off limits would be like custom scale links, custom body shapes, different hardware that we don't offer. But you know, we're willing to put in other brand pickups if you send them in. We're willing to do custom finishes. You know, we do a lot of custom stuff. Of course, we're not a you name it custom shop. You know, where we'll do anything you want. You know, that's not what we do here. There are custom shops like that. Typically, they're going to be smaller. They're needing to stay busy, and they're willing to do anything because a lot of times they're cutting everything out by hand anyhow. So if you want a custom shape, it's not a big deal. We use CNC machines here, so everything's repeatable. So I'll hand make the first prototype, and then we'll copy it with the CNC.
Can we get the reverse P pickup on models with PJ configuration?
That's not something I'm offering right now. I'm stoked for you guys showing some interest, but let's see how opening up pretty much every pickup configuration we offer. Let's see how that goes first. Put a pin in that one.
Can I order the ring inlays with a K at the 12th fret?
You cannot. No. I'm not saying that we'll never offer it, but right now it's not something we're offering.
Does the bass builder have the same finish and color options as the guitar builder?
It does, yeah.
Fred is asking, any chance the double crackle will be added to the builder, or would that be a call-in option?
That's going to be a call-in option because we don't really have a way of letting you pick 2 different color crackles. You know, because we want something that's going to kind of complement each other, and so it'd be really hard for us to build that kind of logic into that, and we don't do a lot of double color crackles. So I could have my guys spend 20, 30, 40 hours of programming to sell, let's say 10 of them a year. It just doesn't make sense. So just call my guys and we'll dial in what you want.
What is the standard spacing on the MJ5, and do you get 17 and 19 millimeter options like on the Vanquish and Icon?
That's a great question. So this is going to be 19 millimeter. There is no 17 millimeter spacing option on it. It's just going to be a 19, whether it's a 4 or a 5, both at 19.
Someone wants to know if that bass is a classic burst or tobacco.
Which
one
one?
on the other side?
Oh, this one here. This is our classic sunburst. Yeah, so tobacco is the only difference really is it's gonna have no red in it. It's gonna go yellow right to black. You'll have no hues of red. And maybe it's hard for you to see on the screen, but definitely you can see a lot of red in person.
McKinley's asking, will there be the option to delete the neck pickup so it's just the MM, or will that be a call-in option?
You mean this one right here? This one right here? Come on, McKinley. Yes, man. Yeah, that's one of the options. Play around with the builder, and you'll see that that is actually one of the options. So it says, the humbucker, fat humbucker in the sweet spot. And then you can see there's just 3 controls. We're ditching the pan knob. This is also one of those options that it's going to have less resale value, less resaleable for us because it's more limited, right? There's kind of one sound going on there, which is a great sound, but I don't want to get stuck with it. Just like I don't want to be stuck with a fretless. So if you go with that single in there and that's a sound you want, that's awesome. That's not what everybody's going to want. And so when people go to that single pickup, it is going to make the instrument no return because again, I can't get stuck with some awesome looking custom bass that someone realized, well, it doesn't have that single coil there. It doesn't have that single coil sound. You're not going to be able to replicate that. Even if you were to try to coil tap that, the output drops so much that it just doesn't sound, it's not something you could use like in a live setting where you go between like a single coil, a split version of that pickup and that pickup. It just doesn't work that way. It's a good question. Yeah, I'll leave it like that, McKinley.
What are the scale lengths for the multi-scale Modern J?
That one is going to be 33.5 to 35. So it's shorter than what the Vanquish is. The Vanquish, we're stretching out further on that one.
Can you get pale moon tops on a guitar?
It depends on the model, and they're very expensive, but you're welcome to call my guys.
Victor's asking, can you get a blackburst edge on trans white?
You could. It'd be a no return because what happens anytime we have white down and we put like any type of a trans burst or even a black burst, you're going to have some of that peppering, what we'll call it peppering or coloring of the middle. There's no way of keeping that middle perfectly clean when you have a white color. It's so obvious when you spray black over it. We'll do our best to pull it off, and we do that, and it looks great, but it would be no return.
What would it take to get you to do a 7.25 inch radius for me?
I'm not doing it, man. We offer so much. And, to be honest, I think I've had that request in all the time I've been doing this, maybe 5 times. So it's not something that is, breaking down the door for me to want to do, especially when we already offer a 10. So sorry, I can't do everything for everybody.
Oh, will the Arctic go on the builder?
No plans to add that. It's a pretty complex finish. It'd be something you'd call in for. It's not that it will never go on there, but we're trying to do other things. Like come up with new inlays. Come up with finishes that are very prevalent that a lot of people can reach, meaning affordable. And then obviously like this new bass builder, this was a lot of work. This took a ton of time.
Octavio is asking, will the Vanquish ever be a neck through?
No plans for that.
Ross says, thanks for the bass love, Jeff. Question, is the Radium single coil / humbucker the same size? And if so, why can't we pair the split coil with the Radium humbucker?
It's not that you can't. It's that we felt like it's not a sound that would be as popular, and we want to try to steer you guys into the right sound. If you wanted, it is the same size, but if you wanted the Radium humbucker, just call my guys. We'll do it for you. It's no problem. It doesn't change the routing. It just changes the install. When the guys go to install it, guys or gals go to install it. But we feel like that split coil paired with the single coil just is adds so much more versatility that we feel like that's what you guys should go with. Doesn't mean you have to though. So just call in if you wanted that.
Are perimeter bursts still available?
I don't know what that means. Like just a burst around it? Yeah, we do bursts around things all the time.
Scott's asking, besides the black base for the hip shot, what's the difference between the hip shot and Kiesel bridges?
It's just the hip shot bridge. It's a more expensive bridge. It's all solid brass. It's got a little more adjustability to it. It's American made, right? It's The other one is an overseas bridge. I love using American-made products, you know, and it is definitely an upgrade from the other bridge. Not that there's anything wrong with the other bridge. The other bridge is a great bridge and sounds really good. It's just, this is definitely an upgrade. And I feel like on a base of today's time, if you're going to call something modern, I feel like it has to have modern features like the slope neck heel, which we do on all of our bases now. But slope neck heel, active controls standard, you know, of course, the dual carbon fiber rods, the two-way truss rod, you know, all the bells and whistles, the radius pickups, you know, they allow the player to not have to work so hard on those middle strings. So there's just so many things that make this bass, you know, for the modern player. And that bevel, of course, too. It's not just a looks thing. It's, you know, comfort in all playing positions, which, I mean, let's face it, in the modern times, that's what we're looking for. Is it's not just, okay, here you go, and that's it. And then, of course, pickup configurations. Because there's no pick guard, we can be very versatile on that.
Why is translucent white gloss not a finish option on the builder?
Trans white gloss. We do trans white. You can get it, but it has to be over like a flame or a quilted top. So that's probably what's going wrong. You might be wanting it just on like swamp ash or something like that. We offer it once you're upgrading the wood to like a flame or a quilt.
Is the MJ a bolt-on?
It is. Yes, it is. It's a bolt-on. Which, in my opinion, for bass, just really drives home those low notes.
Tanner's asking, can a Thanos be painted all solid color if it's given an ash or other non-figure top?
Yeah, we've done some with like a plain maple top is typically what we put on there. And we drop the price $100 when somebody takes away the flame maple top and just puts a plain maple top.
Any chance you'll put hot pink as a color option on the builder?
I think hot pink is on the builder. Am I wrong? I thought it was too.
This is gonna be the last question.
Remember, we started late today.
Yeah, it's been 30 minutes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You sure about that? What time is it?
45.
Yeah. Started like 12 after. Right? 15 after?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
been 30.
It's been a long day. Sorry. What do you got?
Are we able to get a black bridge with gold saddles?
That's actually what you would get. So if you see this one here, when you get gold, that's what you get on this particular, when they have hip shots. You're going to have a black bridge, gold, black, or chrome saddles. Damn, it has been a long day. On that note, hope you guys enjoy the new base builder. I can't wait to see your builds coming through. Again, thank you for the love and support. Sorry it took us so long to get the base builder done, but I hope you're really happy with what we did. Part of the reason why it took so long is we wanted to give you guys more pickup options, which we did. We gave you guys a ton. Normally you would get whatever pickup routing was in the base, you would get that, either humbucker or single. That was your only choice. Now you have a few more options. So on that note, if you have any questions that we did not cover in this, call my guys, 858 Guitars. We'll see you guys. There's that.